Hi everybody, my name is Chelsea Reynolds and I am the event manager at the Leacore Center in Philadelphia. For those of you who don't know, the Leacore Center is a 10,000 seat arena on Temple University's campus. We host a ton of different events there. We host multiple concerts every year. Temple men's basketball plays all their home games there. We also host a lot of family shows like the Harlem Globetrotters, Sesame Street Live, Cirque du Soleil, and a lot of boxing and wrestling events actually, because we are in Philadelphia, so boxing's a big thing. So my job as the event manager is I manage all of those events. So when a show has booked an event here, tickets go on sale, and then I get in contact with the production team or the production manager for the event. They give me all the information that I need as far as lighting, audio, the stage setup, the arena setup, floor seating, any catering that they're gonna need for the artists, how many dressing rooms they're gonna need, what time they're coming in, how many trucks, how many tour buses are coming, all the information that they have, they give that to me. I talk through it, and then I put together and schedule all of the labor. We are a union building in Philadelphia, so I schedule all the union labor to set everything up. I schedule security, event staff, and I make sure everybody on my team has all the info that they need so that we can have a great show. Then the night of the show, I actually get there super early in the morning. I meet with the production team. We set everything up, we get everything ready, and then the night of the show, I am in charge of security and guest services. So as the concert's going on, I'm just kind of hopping around, making sure everything's good. If there are any security issues, if any guests have any problems or anything like that, they come to me. And then at the end of the night, I give them the bill and they go on their way. It's a really exciting job, a really fast paced, and a lot going on. How I actually got into it, I went to DeSales University up near Allentown, and I studied theater and communications, so not really that related. But towards my junior year, I kind of started to event management graduate assistant. I technically was the marketing one, but I knew that he was ahead of me and he was going to be graduating before me, so he graduated. I kind of slid into his role. And then just 4 months later, the previous director of events left the company and I applied for it. And once again, because I was already there, the team fully knew me. I had been working there for over a year and they knew that I could do the job. I interviewed for it and I got it. So my best advice to you guys is really take advantage of all these networking opportunities that are going to come your way, especially in college. They may not seem that important, but any business really, knowing people and knowing people in the business is key, and just kind of learning different career paths and how they got there and what they did to achieve their goals is going to kind of show you that there are multiple ways.
Hey guys, my name is Cassandra. I'm the general manager of a restaurant in Philadelphia. As far as a path to becoming a general manager, I wish I had the magic formula, but I can tell you what it was like for me. So I was always moving in my late teens, my early 20s, actually most of my 20s. And the one thing that you can do pretty much anywhere you go is work in a restaurant. I've worked at a lot of restaurants, pizza, bakeries. I've worked at like a Bob's Big Boys in the Midwest. I've been in a diner before. I very briefly worked at a very fancy restaurant that I was not very good at. I've worked at mom and pops, and I've also worked in large corporations. One of my favorite experiences was working at an organic pizza company called Jules Thin Crust, and I went from being hired as an assistant manager there and getting the chance to build my own food truck. So what that meant for me was talking about building out the plans, talking about what materials to use, going through the whole permitting process, and basically creating an entire business from scratch, because I had to do all the marketing, I got to decide what clients to take on, figure out what our capacities were, and that was just really, really terrifying, but also taught me so much about what I'm capable of. And then there's the day-to-day. I would say my day-to-day falls into three categories. There's the technical side of things, making sure that the restaurant is running smoothly. There's the paperwork, making sure that my payroll is done correctly, bills are paid, stock counts, reconciliations, things like that. And then there's my favorite, which is the people side of things. So hiring, always great. Scheduling, very boring. And then development. So asking my team what it is that they want from the job. Is it just hours so that they can pay their bills, or is it development to go further within their career, and getting it for them?
Hey there, my name is Kelly Trunser and I live in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I currently work as a client delivery expert for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Excuse my appearance, I'm currently working from home amidst the coronavirus pandemic. However, I do typically get to work from home, as you might be able to tell by the computer screens behind me. I went to Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina, and I graduated with a major in healthcare management and a minor in marketing. So I remember graduating and wondering if I wanted to go to grad school right away or to go get a job. And I knew that if I went to grad school, I was interested in obtaining a hospital fellowship. And Blue Cross and Blue Shield actually had this rotational development program available, which essentially was exactly like a hospital fellowship but didn't require a grad degree. And there are a lot of major companies out there that have similar type programs. So it was really great because I was able to come into the program and spend 7 to 9 months in 3 different departments. So our marketing department, our healthcare department, and our health promotion department. And that's where I eventually found my home. And so now, as a client delivery expert, I'm in the sales division and I work with our employer groups or clients. So that could be like a Target or a Walmart. And those aren't my clients, those are just examples, but that's an employer that offers health insurance for their employees. And my role specifically, right now, it's a lot of emails and it's a lot of questions about the coronavirus, and groups have to make decisions about how they want to cover it for their employees. But otherwise, normally it looks like I'm traveling into our office in Durham, or I'm traveling and visiting clients across the state of North Carolina. So I encourage you to think about the things that you like doing. So if you like giving presentations, maybe sales is a good spot for you. Just find what it is that gives you energy and see if you can find a career path that matches that. So again, if you really love animals, maybe veterinary work is for you. Or if you are really into looking at data and getting into numbers, becoming an analyst or doing something IT could be a really good option for you. So I don't know. I hope this is helpful, and I wish you all the best of luck as you start to consider what careers you might be interested in.
Okay, so what do you do?
My name is Matt Harrison. I'm a photo estimator for Progressive Insurance Company.
What path did you take to get there?
I took the path of I needed a job out of college. I've been with the company for about 5 years now. Went through a couple steps within the company to get where I am now. Started off as a regular claims adjuster, up into writing estimates on vehicles at a center, and now I'm work from home and I do estimates off of photos.
What does your day-to-day job tasks look like?
My day-to-day job is usually I get my work all at the same time in the morning. I go through everything, see what I need to get reviewed and that kind of stuff, and then I move forward from there and just go throughout my day.
Great. Any other info you'd like to share?
Yeah, that when you graduate, look at all your options. One mistake that I made when I was graduating was not looking too seriously into what it would take to do what I intentionally wanted to do. I'm happy in my job now, but I did get a psychology degree, and it does require a little bit more to get to where you want to be when you're in college. So that's definitely some advice I would give.
is Sarah. I currently work as a recruiting coordinator in HR in our recruiting department for an insurance company. With this position, I originally had started with a company, I should say, in customer service, and I knew I wanted to get into recruiting. So our company was having a career fair, and I actually went to the career fair, was able to meet some people that currently worked in the recruiting department. So I did a sit with a couple of recruiters. So what that means is that for a couple hours, I was able to get an overview of the position and learn more about the day-to-day responsibilities. After that, I kept in touch with some people in the recruiting department, and I was able to eventually get a loan in. So what that means is where I transferred full-time to that department and helped out because there was a business need. And when there was an actual full-time opening, like a full-time position, I interviewed and was actually hired on. So as far as my day-to-day responsibilities, I could be reviewing resumes, conducting telephone interviews, as well as reviewing video interviews. So I communicate daily with other candidates, any other recruiters or hiring managers. Any advice that I would have, so I would say really perform well in the position that you're currently in. Learn as much as you can, ask lots of questions, and really do well in that position, and then that'll help you moving forward.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm a product manager at a software company. Our software is used by schools, universities, state and local governments to purchase goods and services to keep their organizations running and to manage relationships with their vendors. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in English Literature with a minor in business. I didn't expect to work in software, but I worked at a software company as a support representative a few years ago and found that I had a knack for learning how software works and communicating with customers about it. I liked troubleshooting and problems too. So solving problems actually led me into product management. So a product manager is kind of the go-between person between customers and software developers. They decide what new features the software should have, how the software can work better to solve customer problems, and how to prioritize between competing projects, because as it turns out, everybody has opinions about how things should work. A product manager is the expert of the software. They know as much as possible about how to set up the software and how it works. So in purchasing software, for example, this involves setting up catalogs of items for people to order from, as well as the functionality for processing the orders that have those items, among many other things. Every day is a little different, but most days involve an hour or so talking with developers about what they're working on and any questions they have about how the software should be working. I'm also responsible for documenting the work that the developers do around all of the new features and things that get fixed. So I have to write up the business cases and the rules for what's being worked on. I also put together mock-ups of what the functionality will look like. So if you think about a website or any piece of software, somebody has to decide everything about how it looks like. So how all the fields work together, what are the fields named, what are the different options, what are all the rules for getting those fields to work together to make the website or the software work. Every company uses software to manage some aspect of their business, whether it's tracking or paying their employees, or ordering supplies, or sending items to their customers, or any number of things. And behind all those websites, behind all those software packages, there's a group of people who decide what it will look like and how it will work.
Hi guys, my name is Lauren and I am a marketing consultant. So I spent about 15 to 20 years working inside of different companies in marketing roles. That was kind of my path to eventually working for myself. I started my career working in New York for different types of agencies. I worked for an event company, and then I moved on and started working for a public relations firm. And then I moved back down to Philadelphia. I started working for a branding company, which does things like advertising and digital marketing and brand and message development for different types of companies. From there, I moved into what we say is in-house. So I started working in a marketing function inside different types of companies. And I did that for about 7 to 8 years, working in-house for 3 different companies. All were technology companies, and most of my career before that, when I worked for agencies, I always worked with technology clients. So then when I went in-house, I worked for a couple different types of companies, always in what we would call a more traditional marketing role. So I was a marketing manager, and then the next company I joined, I spent about 5 years there, and I worked up from marketing manager to director to being the head of the global marketing function for a Brazilian technology company. I moved on from there to try something new in a much smaller company that we were looking to grow really fast and then sell. And then when we did that, I decided it was a good time for me to go off on my own. So I've been working for myself for a little more than 3 years. So that was kind of my path from, starting my career working in different types of marketing agencies and companies in marketing roles to eventually working for myself now. This is a lot harder than it was to work for different companies. My schedule is my schedule. It works, I work when I can work. So I have small kids, I get them going to school, and then I work all day. But then also if I need to get things done at night, I can do that too. But if I want to be doing things with them at certain times, I can do that because I make my own schedule. So that's great. But then, the hard part of it is always finding work. So I'm always trying to balance finding work, finding clients that need marketing support, and then actually doing the work. So there's a little bit of a balance. And then when you're doing the work, you always have to be looking for the next project, the next client. So a lot of what I do focuses on networking and talking to people and explaining what I do and seeing how I can provide support to them. And that's what I do day to day as a marketing consultant. Thanks.
Hey everyone, my name's Megan and I am a financial and office manager for a trucking and contracting company. I graduated from Pennsbury High School and then I went on to Bucks County Community College and got an associate's in mathematics. From there I went on to LaSalle University, although I never finished and received my bachelor's degree. Accounts receivable and accounts payable take up a lot of my daily work, along with managing the books and making sure that all of the payments and money coming in are being processed correctly. I also deal with all of the monthly, quarterly, and yearly taxes that go along with employment and any sales that we do. If you are into math or into financing, something simple is office managing or financial managing.